the tragedy. You don't do that. You don't get that in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So it's just a sad situation to be in. Very, very sad.
Very sad.
Very, very, very sad, my brother. How do you go?
So, my brother, before we proceed, I think I have there's a video I want us to play. We will listen to that video and maybe we'll use it for our discussion and before we round up the program.
I was thinking that the one from Arise, because if any, my dear brother, if any, I'm telling you, this abrogation of this blasphemy laws, he has taken there's a very, very serious momentum on that area in the United States, and now for the first time, face about it. They are discussing it now, and of course we know the position. So I'm sure you've not seen that video, but anyway, yeah. So
the Arise TV program, I think is that their morning show, right?
Yes.
The morning show. I think I saw. Let me see. I think I have the video. I think I have that video.
You know what happened that I saw this morning. If not for the fact that some time ago, when Ruben Abati was physically close to so confrontationally fighting Oji or that lady, this would have been another situation where he would just go gun blazing, because it was getting to that boiling point when Oji was trying to let him know what the situation is, and again, just as the typical evil human being that he is.
A paid agent. He's there to promote the Islamization of Nigeria.
No one was, or it could never be where Ruben Abati is evil, pure, and oh my God. So did you see the video? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I saw the video. I'm just trying to see if I can be able to find it.
Wow. Wow.
I saw that video, but I have not been able to pay attention to it.
Okay, well. You saw. Oh, you saw it, but you didn't listen to it, eh?
Yeah. I just saw it.
Oh dear.
Joining us now with stories trending around the world is Oji Ope. Good morning, Oji.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning? Good morning, Ayomide. Good morning, Bimbai. How are you this morning?
Great,
I'm doing excellent. Well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending in the United States, where the government has announced new visa restrictions targeting Nigerians accused of undermining religious freedom following escalating violence and what Washington describes as targeted persecution of Christians in Nigeria. In a post on X, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the restriction will affect those who knowingly direct, authorize, fund, support, and carry out violations of religious freedom. And I'll read Marco Rubio's post on X. He wrote, "The United States is taking decisive action in response to the atrocities and violence against Christians in Nigeria and around the world. The State Department will restrict U.S. visas for those who knowingly direct, authorize, fund, support, or carry out violations of religious freedom. This visa policy applies to Nigeria and other governments or individuals that persecute people for their religious beliefs." Well, Marco Rubio spoke with Fox News on Monday, issuing a stark warning about the threat posed by radical Islam, describing it as a clear and imminent danger to the world and broader West, and especially the United States. Let's take a look.
Radical Islam has shown that their desire is not simply to occupy one part of the world and be happy with their own little caliphate. They want to expand. It's revolutionary in its nature. It seeks to expand and control more territories and more people. And radical Islam has designs openly on the West. On the United States, on Europe, we've seen that progress there as well. And they are prepared to conduct acts of terrorism. In the case of Iran, nation-state actions, assassinations, murders, you name it, whatever it takes for them to gain their influence and ultimately their domination of different cultures and societies. That's a clear and imminent threat to the world and to the broader West, but especially to the United States, who they identify as the chief source of evil on the planet. The reason why they hate the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the leadership of the UAE, of Bahrain, is because they've allowed the United States to partner with them. That's why they hate them. They consider them infidels for it. They hate Israel. But they also hate America. And they hate anywhere in the world that we have influence. They seek to attack it, including here in the homeland.
Well, this is a clear signal that the Trump administration is taking a hardline approach to radical Islamic terrorism, marking a significant shift in U.S. foreign policy rhetoric. Well, the visa ban announcement comes a day after U.S. lawmakers convened a roundtable in Washington with religious freedom and foreign relations experts to discuss Nigeria's escalating violence on President Donald Trump's directive. Last month, House Foreign Affairs Africa Subcommittee Chairman Chris Smith introduced a resolution recommending the visa ban and asset freezes on individuals and entities responsible for severe violations of religious freedom in Nigeria, especially naming the Maeti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria and Maeti Allah Cattle Hore as erring entities. Well, MACBAN has since denied allegations of carrying out genocide against Christians and urged Congress to withdraw the recommendation. Well, this visa ban announcement is a significant escalation in U.S.-Nigeria relations and represents Washington's most direct intervention yet in Nigeria's security crisis. Dr. Abati, I'd like your comments, but, you know, we've often talked about these sanctions, and now we are seeing a clear sanction right now, targeting individuals and entities that support and negotiate with terrorists as well. But also the mention of Maeti Allah in this whole conversation also is very important for you to discuss as well. So I'll tie in this story for us to discuss both. Meanwhile, the United States lawmakers have been urged to pressure the Nigerian government to abolish Sharia law in northern states where it has been adopted and disband the religious enforcement HISPA commissions, with experts warning that these laws and groups are fueling systematic anti-Christian persecution. Well, during the joint House briefing on Tuesday, Council on Foreign Relations Senior Fellow Dr. Ebenezer Obadari testified that the primary drivers of violence, Boko Haram, ISWAP, and radicalized Fulani militants exploit Sharia frameworks and HISPA officials to impose extremist ideology and operate with near-total impunity. Dr. Obadari laid out a twofold strategy. First, work with the Nigerian military to neutralize Boko Haram, and second, pressure President Tinubu to make Sharia law unconstitutional in 12 northern states where it has been adopted since the year 2000 and disband the various Hizbah groups who are seeking to enforce Islamic law on all citizens regardless of their religious identity. This is another push that we are seeing, Dr. Abati. You know, the call for the ban of Sharia law also is an uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had. Your thoughts?
Malchus, come to try as well, Igbo. If for this very measure, the banning of this blasphemy law, all back organiru all back yes, all back in Willow for that thing. Because trust me, or if you remember from day one, I've been emphasizing that we have to and oh my goodness, a Canadian job. All we're gonna deploy. 100%. Okay, menu money, and the fact na Amakwe simply means no Obama ko buy it's everywhere. So this is it. The Akajiko I nekwe back on because I knew the fact na Haji for this our two guys, Nnamdi Kanu na onya no about Sabonegba Haji. So there is Akachuku Kainos now moving forward. And if I know by the grace of God, because and the fact they are increasing their genocide and everything. So about the whole thing, my brother,
because I go too far.
Too far. The fact that Ruben Abati,
so the fighting back is almost impossible. They will not.
Yeah, so Ruben Abati, where my interest, my emphasis is on is the fact that Ruben Abati football is what even his countenance.
Oji, I'm going to introduce. I didn't know you.
Okay, can I get into it?
Okay, since President Trump named Nigeria as a country of particular concern, redesignation after the Biden administration, there have been a lot of moves in the United States in terms of addressing the issue in Nigeria. Well, let's start with what we call radical Islam. Now, radical Islam, yes, it's a very serious threat, to the United States. We all remember 9/11, and it talks about basically extremist ideology that you can find either in terms of fundamentalism or in terms of the use of violent tactics to promote that particular religion. And 9/11 would seem to be a very good example of the kind of, threat that radical Islam can pose. For the United States, 9/11 was a particular, wake-up call. And the international community have been mobilized since then to fight global extremism. So it's not just of concern to the U.S., it's also for the global community. Second, now the U.S. now saying, look, U.S. will fight it. Other countries are fighting it too.
Yes.
What we're talking about is the need for cooperation, to check extremism of any sort, whether it's called radical Islam or it is called terrorism or it is called banditry. Now, to come to Nigeria, the U.S. says, Nigeria is not a country of particular concern. The announcement that they will restrict visas is inside the Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 212, Sub A and Sub 3C, which gives the United States, the powers to restrict visas for certain category of persons and entities. And I had made a point earlier on that, it falls within the legitimate and sovereign right of the U.S. to admit whoever it wants to admit. It's not automatic that when you apply for visa that you'll be given. Where the problem will be is, how do you identify who these religious extremists in Nigeria are? It's not as if Nigeria has a list of...
You see this idiot?
Yeah.
You see this idiot? You see a silly question that this idiot is asking?
He's lying to himself.
Even, oh my God.
He's lying to himself because the U.S. knows and we know.
It's not even US. We ourselves, don't we know those who are religious extremists in Nigeria?
Of course, we know. Yeah.
How much more US?
Yeah.
Okay, look at somebody that even Saudi Arabia banned him from entering their country.
Okay. So Ruben doesn't.
You're not here telling us that
how would they know? How would they know? If Saudi Arabia can deport somebody because of his connection, his link to terrorism. What about Sultan of Sokoto? He's a terrorist. It's been proven now, and they are talking about it in the United States as we speak.
This guy
of persons who are known as radical extremists. So that's why it's at the discretion of the consular section of the United States Embassy, issuing visa to persons. Now, the Nigerian government too does not have a list. If there is a list, and they have published it, well, I have not seen it. And then when you look at the Middle Belt area, Benue, Plateau, Southern Kaduna in the Northwest, most of the people who are involved in these things, the basis is not religion.
Yeah.
The basis is land. It's economic power. It's about access.
This man is a devil.
Okay. He never started.
This idiot is a devil.
Yeah. He says it's not religion. You see? So
you see, this man, when this guy died, even Maggot will refuse to eat his body.
Yeah, Ajomo. Yeah, Ekwenso. That's in that so.
In Nigeria, you are hearing everything that's happening. Have this guy ever gone to Benue State to interview people?
Exactly. Never. He's sitting down there.
This guy was in media when the former governor of Benue State, Samuel Oto,
they nearly killed him.
His life.
Okay.
Him.
Okay. Yeah.
Even if you don't go out to investigate, Samuel Oto, when he was in power, Samuel Oto released many informations.
Yeah.
The chief security of a state. Look at this devil. I say when this guy die, maggot will not eat his body. Even maggot will refuse to eat his flesh.
Ruben about it. Evil.
To resources. So it's a bit complex in Nigeria. The other thing you raised is the Sharia.
Yes.
Now it was Dr. Ebenezer Obadare, you know, he used to be one of our colleagues in those early days, who recommended that two solutions to address the problem in Nigeria. Put pressure on the Nigerian government to do a lot more. Then ban Sharia in 12 northern states and also ban the Isba units.
Yes.
Well, the thing to note is that the Sharia law is in fact in the Constitution of Nigeria. I think I said this about 2 days ago. In sections 275, 279. And its jurisdiction is civil. It's not a criminal orthodoxy.
They follow practice. They follow.
Are trying to define it in the United States. It means that the Sharia law can only apply to persons who have elected to be tried under the Sharia law. And we have Sharia Court of Appeal. We have in some of these states, you know, where you have the Sharia. And in any case, it's a federal system.
Yeah.
Some states, you know, that say, oh, we want to adopt this kind of system of law are allowed to do so. But that law should not apply to people who do not subscribe to it. So you cannot use Sharia law now to punish Christians.
Yes, and so
I do not think that President Tinubu has the powers to unilaterally say, oh, you will declare Sharia law unconstitutional. In fact, that would be a prescription for chaos, for conflict. In fact, it will worsen the situation because persons from those 12 northern states and, you know, religious leaders who since 1978 Constitutional Conference insisted on the Sharia being accommodated as a personal orthodoxy. They will be the ones to now rise up in arms. So in trying to solve a problem in Nigeria, you create another problem.
All right. You know, we have often seen, like you have said, that the Sharia law should not be used to persecute Christians, right? But we have seen that happen. I think we've discussed this at length. Ayo, even recently, we've seen...
Now it's inching closer.
Yes.
And the truth is that we need to also decide whether or not Nigeria is a secular state or not.
Correct.
If we say that Nigeria is a secular state, then we...
Simple. Go there. Yeah, simple. Yeah, but Ruben Abati, you will see as the video plays along, he will not want to go there. So, but this Ayo, the lady, and Oji, because the one in the middle is not a Nigerian. I think she's married to a Nigerian, but she's from one of these African countries. So you can see her body language is like, I don't want to interfere in something that, you know. So she just stay away throughout. Now, Ayo is making a point. Nigeria is a secular state. Why would Sharia be? But Ruben, because he goes on, he's trying to prove, in other words, that it's in the Constitution. Therefore,
you see, this program have actually shown the people that Ruben is working for. People that are
exactly Caliphate.
Caliphate is bankrolling this guy fully.
100%. 100%.
They are bankrolling. There is no doubt about it. They are bankrolling this idiot.
And he's saying,
this is the tragedy of Nigeria. Do you know what they do? That when they want to perpetrate this evil, they will use a Christian with a Christian name, somebody who claims to be a Christian.
Exactly. But
in a person in the front to speak and stand and fight.
But in actuality, because the thing is, Ruben Abati, first of all, he said that Tinubu cannot unilaterally abolish Sharia. Now, first of all, he's wrong about that because the Constitution of Nigeria was made clear from the get-go that it's a secular state, but somewhere along the line, they bamboozle it into the Constitution. So it's illegitimate. It's wrong. And two, he said that it will, in solving a problem, it creates additional problem, there will be chaos. Well, there's chaos already. So you cannot, expect any more chaos than what is happening in Nigeria, where every day they are kidnapping people and they are paying ransom and they are buying people left, right, and center. All over Nigeria chaos is understatement. If you describe Nigeria as being chaotic, that is an understatement. Thank you. Coaches.
Coaches, go ahead.
Okay, I said just like this damage control where all of them they do now. Most especially this one that call himself Akpabio or what? and even the president of Nigeria. The appointment where they give General Christopher Musa now, every one of us is supposed to know that that is damage control. So that if all these invaders, when they were going to start this evil work, and if America talk, they're going to say, is he not Christian? He's here. That's the reason why they hand over that post to Christopher Musa. Every Nigerian, every indigenous people of Nigeria, everyone of them is supposed to be wise now. This Sharia law they are talking about, Sharia law is not even supposed to even work in any Nigeria, the whole Nigeria itself. This Sharia law, they're supposed to even cancel it out completely. This Sharia law, they're not supposed to even bring it. But this Sharia law that they have bring to Nigeria law, that is what they're going to use to destroy themselves, because they'll not know how the whole thing is going to start. And this chaos that they are planning, you're going to start from that north.
Yeah.
Because you're going to start from that north where they.
You know, okay, brother, you know, Ruben Abati is a lawyer, as he claimed, right? So he's supposed to know certain things, but because there are those, the caliphate that he's working for, so he always tend to, shy away. Oh, sorry. Continue first.
His job is to change the narrative. That is his job. His job is always to change and create a different narrative. Are you there, Christian?
No, I don't know, brother.
That is his job. Just to change the narrative. That is what Ruben is doing. Every single thing you bring on board, he will change the narrative. He will create a different narrative to suit the evil agenda. He has done it over and over again. Every time he sits on that seat, he will create a different narrative. He will never allow the truth to fly. Oh, God.
We cannot have religion, sports whereby a party.
We want to adopt this kind of system of law, are allowed to do so. But that law should not apply to people who do not subscribe to it. So you cannot use Sharia law now to punish Christians.
Yes, and so
I do not think that President Tinubu has the powers to unilaterally say, oh, you will declare Sharia law unconstitutional. In fact, that would be a prescription for chaos, for conflict. In fact, it will worsen the situation because persons from those 12 northern states and religious leaders who, since 1978 Constitutional Conference, insisted on the Sharia being accommodated as a personal orthodoxy. They will be the ones to now rise up in arms. So, in trying to solve a problem in Nigeria, you create another problem.
All right. We have often seen, like you have said, that the Sharia law should not be used to persecute Christians, right?
Yeah. So what I was going to say is that Ruben Abati knows the concept of the Sharia law, the effect of it, what he has done, and how it came about. Because the 12 northern states that practice this Sharia law, so invariably, they've already separated from Nigeria. Because Nigerian constitution did not permit it to take place, but they were able to, the states, their governors, their assemblies, they were able to come to that agreement and decided on it. And what that simply means is that they've separated from the secularity of Nigerian constitution already. Now, but over the years, they've also capitalized, having seen the level of stupidity or cowardliness or docility among the southern other part of the country who would have challenged them. They would have challenged it, because that is like we say we want Biafra, one out of the country. They refuse. They are fighting us. They are doing everything. And they came together, these 12 of them, and they just did something that is contrary to the law of the country. So they created their own law and they're implementing it. So see, having seen all these things, for them now it's like, okay, they have to push the envelope even further, using that Sharia now to advance it and hoping that they not just impose it in order.
They even want to remove the Nigerian law and begin to implement that one. They want to abandon the Nigerian law completely.
Exactly. But the thing is that is from the beginning. That's where they would have fought it off. Tell them that no, this is unconstitutional. This is absolutely unacceptable. And if they have to fight, then they have to fight. Then if the country has to break away so that they have it, because you cannot, it's just crazy. You know, this thing has been analyzed. And thank goodness, thank you, Kabiama, that this is the point where truly, everything is now here it goes scatter. It is because if you remember, I've been saying it for some time now. When this whole thing started, that if that button is pushed, that Nigeria go in, because America will not go back on this. They must. You have to explain to me how two people are in a game. Maybe we are playing a game, and the rule is that you will have 11, I will have 11, but somehow you went about and get like 14 while I have 11. That is not 11 playing field. That is, so that is the thing. But let's watch and see what happens to Ruben Abati and this lady Orji trying to correct, yeah.
But we have seen that happen. I think we've discussed this at length. Ayo, even recently we've seen...
Now it's inching closer.
Yes.
And the truth is that we need to also decide whether or not Nigeria is a secular state or not.
Correct.
If we say that Nigeria is a secular state, then we cannot have sports whereby a particular religious law is allowed. So we need to make that decision. And I did mention at the beginning of this conversation around Christian genocide that we must have uncomfortable conversations around Sharia law in some states. I also believe that it's important to find out to what extent the Christians living in those... we've seen incidents where it crosses over. It always crosses over after a while. And that's where the challenge is. If something was instituted or called upon, if we see that it has a negative effect, we can go back to the conversation, revisit it, and actually find out if it's still working.
I said that Sharia is not a religion.
But I've tried to say particular religious group.
The Sharia court.
The Constitution says there shall be no state religion.
Correct.
In any part. And there's no state of Nigeria where they say you must only be Muslims or you must only be Christians.
Yeah, but the point she's making
is a system of judicial administration
that applies to only a particular religious group.
Or whoever submits to it.
Yes.
But it's mainly the religious
so let me tell you why she's talking about why we're talking about this, because only recently I think we saw a man's store that was closed down in Abuja and said it was a Sharia court that repossessed his property, and we have seen some of these.
No Sharia in the EFCT.
Well, that was the conversation.
In the state where it was brought before.
It was brought before,
and so they are inches.
So it was in the state it was brought before.
Closer,
so exactly, because the people that were persecuting were, using the Sharia court to do that. And so, like Ayo has said, this is a situation where these laws are inching and also persecuting people that have not subscribed to it. For example, we saw Deborah, the killing of Deborah, who was blasphemous, and she was killed. She was burned, but she was Christian, and they used the blasphemy law to persecute her. So, these are the sort of conversations that are uncomfortable and need to be had. If we have to revisit the conversation, we should open it again on the table. And this is my thought. The Constitution is being reviewed all the time, Dr. Bat, isn't it?
We're talking about Sharia law. I'm saying it will cause a lot of problems.
Well,
I don't think President Tinubu needs to.
Look at this man. It must not be discussed. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he said it because so we should just let it like that so that they will continue to.
I get no problem now.
So that they will continue.
What is his plan now to solve this problem? The insecurity, the genocide that is going on. How do you solve it?
Managers, we must have our freedom from these people. We just cannot. Otherwise, then we lost everything. He is saying, Ruben Abati is saying that in other words, we should just allow it to stay for peace to be. But first of all, there's no peace because that Sharia is what is creating additional chaos and the instability and the massacre. And
that is what is giving them the confidence to continue the genocide.
Exactly, because on it gives them the ground to continue to do what they do. And you know that he doesn't want to mention the fact that it was that premise of the Sharia that gave them the ground to buy Deborah, set fire on him. And those people who were brandishing matches, till this day as we speak, they are not very responsible.
They arrested some of them. Lawyers went to defend them and brought them out.
Because of Sharia. And again, Akaluka was also beheaded in the north because of Sharia.
From a police station or taken from a police station and beheaded.
Yeah, then this evil human being, he doesn't want to, but he knows that it's on that basis of Sharia that these atrocities are happening. The one that just happened like a month ago thereabout is that Igbo man who is a Christian, but Sharia law was used to seal up his. But he doesn't want to sell that. And he said that, in other words, let's just move on, right? And he said that Tinubu will not go and dabble into it. I think he said something, maybe when you play finish, he said something about Tinubu and Sharia.
This is insane. You see this problem of Sharia, even up to tomorrow, they are still destroying businesses of their so-called Nigerians.
Okay.
They tell you are in a war country, in a secular country, but they are destroying businesses. That does not align with their religion. Up to today, up to this minute, they are doing it.
Mm-hmm. Ruben doesn't care about that.
What is this their Hizbah enforcing? What do they enforce?
Okay.
What do they enforce? Who do they arrest?
Okay.
What is their job?
Go in that direction.
Well, that's your advice. But the Nigerian people are saying that these are the conversations that need to be had. Exactly. If this is a situation where Christians are being persecuted for something that they did not subscribe to, I believe it's something that should be put on the table.
Yes.
That's really all it is.
Going a constitutional reform conversation. So.
All right. In the meantime, the Senate has confirmed the appointment of former Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, as Nigeria's new Minister of Defense following a rigorous 5-hour screening by lawmakers on Wednesday during.
It's just like when our brother coaches were talking about what they are using Musa for.
Yeah.
Musa is not going to change anything.
Nothing.
It will even be worse. Let me tell you, if Musa enters there now, it will be worse than it is.
Yeah.
The situation will not be worse. Because they are going to use the fact that it's a Christian that is there now, and they will,
do more.
They will tell you, it should be the minister is now your Christian.
Exactly.
Is there now, and now it is even worse.
Yeah.
And they will try as much as possible to make it worse with this Musa.
It's going to get worse, no doubt about that. Even if Musa will want to, because most of these things is happening in his own place, from Southern Kaduna, where they wiped them out. Even his own family members are affected. Now, but even if let's just say that he wants to do some good things, he's still a subject to Shetima as the vice president. The Minister of Defense is also a subject to the vice president and to Tinubu too, because trust me, Tinubu does not. These things are just window dressing. Tinubu doesn't mean to do the right thing. The conditions Americans have given him is not out of his mind. It's not from his mind, right? Like he's not genuine about it. He doesn't want it, but it's like his hands are tied. He have no choice. He have to do something to show that he's not part of it, but he is part of it. And trust me, it's just America. They also put him on a place to watch and see. They know that he's part of it. They know because he's in agreement with them before they let him become president. America know these things. So how do you?
Before we continue to look into that Musa issue, before we go back to that Musa, let us listen to the message that this Musa delivered inside a church
recently.
Of course, it's recently. Let us listen to the message delivered inside the church.
Okay.
All these things are planned work. And I bet you that Musa going there as a minister of defense will worsen the whole situation. It can never make anything better. Let us hear Musa.
Daddy and mommy, you have just made the difference as you've always made. I want to say a very big thank you. But before I go further, please, I've learned one thing from Daddy. Wherever he is, mommy will always be there. So whenever I visited, he will always ask, "Where's your wife?" Please permit me to invite her here. I feel very, very honored and privileged to be here today. Myself, my wife, and my family. It has been a long time since I've known Daddy, but he never knew me then. But I didn't know how he was able to know me. When I was in Maiduguri as the theater commander fighting Boko Haram, He kept calling me, and I was wondering how he got my number, how he knew I was there. But he never, ever relented. And his prayers have continued to make the difference in our lives. And that is to tell you that we serve a living God who will never, ever let us down. Sometimes we're the ones that actually make things not possible for us because we doubt ourselves, we doubt our God. I grew up in the church. I was born and raised in Sokoto. My wife, born and raised in Delta State. She's my pillar. She is a prayer warrior. And because she has learned from mommy, I want to say thank you to this congregation. And thank you, Daddy and Mommy, for bringing this together. You can see wonderful things. And I can assure you, the more you attend here, the more blessings you'll get. Daddy and Mommy have remained steadfast in the Lord. And God will continue to bless you, sir. We are privileged, we are honored, we are blessed just by knowing you. I want to call on all of us as Christians, never ever to be timid. Never shy away to show that you are a Christian, that you follow Christ, wherever you are. I've seen people, because they want higher places, they tend to hide, shy away from God. Remember, the Lord Jesus said, if you are ashamed of me, when we get there, your name will not be in the book. We serve a living God that will never ever let us down. I want to appeal to all of us to love ourselves, love our country. We're going through challenges. It's not only in Nigeria, and I want to assure you that God Almighty loves this country and will never let this country go down. The Sahelian region and West Africa is facing unprecedented challenges by the jihadists, and they are hell-bent on taking over.
I want you to pay attention to that word he used there. You see, when you listen to what this idiot Abati is talking, then you pay attention to the word that this man used there, the jihadists. This is the man they made the defense minister, former chief of army staff. He called them by what they are. He called them by what they are. And when you hear him make this statement, then you go back and listen to this idiotic argument that Abati is making. You will see that Nigeria is not going anywhere. There is no way you can stop this jihadist without removing this Sharia in Nigerian law. If you cannot stop Sharia, there is no way you can stop the jihadist, as he called them. You can't stop it. And for him to have the confidence to mention that word inside this church, if you can't wake up, you will never wake up again. There's no way you hear this kind of a statement from this man.
What did he say?
You will still fight against removal of Sharia. I want us to hear this statement again from him.
Almighty loves this country and will never let this country go down. The Sahelian region and West Africa is facing unprecedented challenges by the jihadists, and they are hell-bent on taking over. God will...
Did you hear it?
Yes.
The jihadists are hell-bent on taking over.
Yeah.
This is a very direct information. If you like, take it. If you don't like, take it. It's up to you.
It's also, I think it's also like a direct challenge to the jihadis, the Fulanis, the Caliphate, don't you think?
It is.
Yeah, because
I'm telling you that he's putting him there will not change anything. It will worsen the situation.
Oh no, they will take him out one way or the other. Yeah. They will take him out.
When you hear this statement, you will be scared of the man's life for that position they gave him now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He should be where in appointment and traveling with his aircraft. When they will tell him, come here,
he just like to carry rats, put in the midst of cats. That is exactly what that happened to this man now. If
Tinubu himself can tell you that he will not reveal his blueprint because if he does, they will kill him. You remember? Tinubu said that. Yeah. Okay. So if Tinubu, who is the so-called commander-in-chief, can be so afraid of these jihadists, this caliphate, how much more you, who is a defense secretary, they will just, take you out. The brigadier general they took out, you see what happened. So, yeah.
Why I played this video is that language he used. He called them by their name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Inside the church, he called them by their name.
Yeah.
It's not like people who tell you bandit. He used the right word, the right language.
And they will not like it.
They will not like it.
The Sultan.
The same thing that Donald Trump did.
Yeah.
He used the same language, the right language.
Yeah, it clearly shows too that they must have been using him in the past or even now, but he knows what is going on. He understands. The caliphate, the sultan, the El-Rufai, and those people, they will never like that language that he used.
Exactly.
Unprecedented challenges by the jihadists, and they are hell-bent on taking over. God will never allow them to succeed. But we need our prayers. As Christians, we need to pray consistently and ceaselessly to ensure that this country remains one and the same. This is a blessed country. Everybody in the world knows Nigeria is great. And some people are not happy Nigeria is still standing. If you remember, not long ago, 2015, some people...
After speaking the right word, he won't begin painting. Begin transfer to international communities. Now, the one causing your problem.
Exactly.
Well, we know as somebody who is inside the government, he don't pass the message where he won't pass to you about the real problem. He mentioned it. It is not to you to be able to digest it. If you can't digest it, it's up to you.
Exactly.
He has done his own part by using the right language. That is the key. That is why I played this video. That language he used. That is the only thing I saw from this video. That language. So everything he's saying is left for you to listen and do what you have to do.
Taking over. God will never allow them to succeed. It's not only in Nigeria. And I want to assure you that God Almighty loves this country and will never let this country go down.
Yeah.
The Sahelian region and West Africa is facing unprecedented challenges by the jihadists. And they are hell-bent on taking over. God will never allow them to succeed. But we need our prayers. As Christians, we need to pray consistently and ceaselessly to ensure that this country remains one and the same. This is a blessed country. Everybody in the world knows Nigeria is great. And some people are not happy Nigeria is still standing. If you remember, not long ago, 2015, some people said that Nigeria was going to pack up.
You see,
this is 2025, we're still standing strong. And we will continue to prevail. I want to thank Daddy and Mommy for this opportunity and to assure you that we're doing everything possible to ensure that we secure this country. But we cannot do it without your prayers. Members of the armed forces are standing daily to ensure that this country is secured and protected. Your prayers means a lot. Your prayers will make that difference. Putting hands together, making that difference, this country will continue to grow. I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here, sir. We're really very...
Well, he's a one Nigerian is, so what do you expect? There are even ones who are even less, they speak differently. How much more? Obviously, this is the mistake they make most of the time, that America said Nigeria will break, or some people said, I don't know who it is exactly, 2015. So because it didn't happen that time, that means you think it's all over, that Nigeria is now in, people, oh my goodness, oh God. Even when God told the Israelites in Egypt that they would be rescued. You remember about Jews, huh?
Yes.
So they thought, because God has said it, just like that, they will be. No, but it still took them years. So this is the mistake sometimes they make. They mix up their emotion with faith or belief, whatever. Nigeria, anybody who doesn't know that Nigeria will break, then obviously you don't know anything. That is all I have to say. That's all I have to say. You can see the implosion. So what do you think is going to happen? You think that this Sharia law, or you think that these Northerners, these Islamic fundamentalists in the North, with all their resources and everything, you think that they've been on this trajectory for decades to take over Nigeria? Or you think they will just give up now? Or you think that the Western world, America in particular, will just let them to continue to slaughter Christians? Even himself doesn't know what is going to befall him, because now he's a target. Trust me. Musa now is a target.
Commodore Omoumi said they will never stop.
Okay.
They will never ever stop.
Questions on recent security lapses, including the withdrawal of troops from Government Comprehensive Girls Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State. General Musa assured the Senate that he would immediately set up a full-scale investigation into the troop withdrawal once he assumes office, and vowed to probe the recent killing of a brigadier commander in Borno State, Brigadier General Musa Uba, and other attacks targeting military officers. Well, during the screening, General Musa also declared a hardline stance against negotiating with criminals, stating that such negotiations compromise national security. Let's take a look.
No one individual can do this together. We must work. So it says no to negotiation. There is no negotiation with any criminal. And I think that should be made very, very clear. We are working together. We're going to work together with the NSS office to ensure that states don't adopt such things, because those things compromise security. And to tell those that nobody, if you negotiate with them, they will never abide by it. It's just a moment. When they do that, they want to buy time to buy more arms, and then they were going to come. And we have seen it repeatedly. There are even localities that have done that. They still come after them. So, sir, it's a total ban on that, total ban on illegal mining.
Well, the screening session saw moments of tension when Senator representing Niger East, Sani Musa, suggested that General Christopher Musa be allowed to take a bow and go, prompting protests from lawmakers before Senate President Godswill Akpabio intervened firmly, rejecting the suggestion, stating that Nigerians deserve to hear from General Musa at the time when security concerns remain high. He cited pressure from the United States over security concerns in Nigeria, stating that even Donald Trump is on our neck. Let's take a look.
We are not asking him questions because we don't like him. We're asking him questions because our constituents would have loved to ask him questions at a time like this. So if we come here and we do politics of bow and go, this is not a period we should say bow and go. Even Donald Trump is on our neck. We have not yet asked him what his response will be to Donald Trump,
sovereignty,
the president of America.
Yeah, they said they get sovereignty.
Yeah, not just anybody. Chief of Defense Staff, a nominee for Minister of Defense of a country. Yeah. And you stand up and say you should take a bow and go, with so many questions on the mouth of Nigerians, with over 200 Nigerian children in the bush, kidnapped and being tortured. His appointment is heralded all over Nigeria with happiness, because Nigerians believe he has something to offer. Give the man an opportunity to give Nigerians hope.
Well, this is a far departure from the Senate's usual rubber stamp bow and go practice. Some people online say the practice was rejected because of international pressure. I'll take some posts on X before I come to you. Akan wrote, if not for Donald Trump, Akpabio would never have read the terms of his engagement as Senate President. Hope he maintains this energy for other pressing national issues. Another ex-user wrote, and hailing Akpabio, saying, distinguished sir, you have earned my respect for this singular act. The era of take a bow and go just like that as a nominee minister can no longer be accepted in this crucial time of heightening insecurity. All government appointees must be scrutinized. Finally, an ex-user wrote, politics aside, Akpabio asked some genuinely pertinent questions. It's clear that even within Nigeria's leadership circles, there is an awareness of the pressure coming from the United States and a need to respond thoughtfully. And also in the meantime, speaking about, General Musa and, the zero tolerance on negotiations with terrorists, the House of Representatives on Wednesday called on the federal government to reveal the financiers behind terrorism and banditry in Nigeria. The House resolved that the people backing kidnappings and banditry in the country should be named, sanctioned, and persecuted, while also stating that all terrorism-related persecutions should be open, expeditious, and transparent. The lawmakers also demanded that the federal government open a new special court specifically dedicated to terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. These are all the right moves in the right direction. We've always called for these people to be named and shamed. Now the lawmakers are even calling for a special court for the persecution. Now your thoughts on Akpabio even referencing Donald Trump, that hey, Donald Trump is on our neck at this point. This international pressure. The pressure is getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll begin with the special courts because this is something that the Minister of Defense, who is about to be confirmed, has always advocated for as part of his measures that he felt would, would curb and help us to deal with the menace. However, the conflict now becomes the fact that under the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, there is permission for some of these procedures to be done without media and without that transparency that we seek. It is one of that's where it gets a little bit complicated because of issues around national security and implications to national stability. Having said that, I think it's a step in the right direction. Now, to yesterday's proceedings, heated proceedings, and I say thank God, I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but thank God for the leadership of Senate President Akpabio and his intervention, because if not, we wouldn't have seen that sort of rigorous screening session. And our only hope is that although the ambassadorial nominees are being screened behind closed doors, we hope that there's the same rigor happening for them as well. So on that note, I say that was an important development. However, on another note, I say, my goodness me, it breaks my heart when the fear of a white man is what makes us spring into action. It says a lot. However, this is where we are. A Caucasian across the Atlantic has issued a warning, and we, like good blacks...
A Caucasian across the Atlantic?
Yes. And we, like good blacks, are now terrified.
The United States president, the most powerful man
Listen,
in the world.
There are several presidents who have stood up to past American presidents. However, there are genuine issues. And I think this is what we should focus on, right? Is that although we can't, I don't want to kill the messenger because I have a problem with the messenger, but it's okay. We're here now, and it's unfortunate that it wasn't the voice of the constituents, the voice of the Nigerians who are dealing with this menace day on, day out, that sprung our people into action. That's why I made reference to the gentleman across the Atlantic. However, having said that, and I'm a Trump fan, but I'm an African first. I'm an African first. I'm an African first.
Good, I like
Fantastic responses.
I always want to play down on that is one of the things they are paid to do. One of the things they are paid to do is to talk down on opinions of Donald Trump, tag him whatever they call him a war monster, call him any kind of name that you want. That is one of the assignments. And that is why Nigerian media is evil.
Yeah.
They sponsor the genocide, they participate in genocide. In fact, they are the ones that is making the genocide succeed. Nigerian media.
Malchus. So that woman, can you hear me, Malchus?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So she said, I think first she kind of belittled or indicted herself by saying that why does it have to take a white man to give order before they carry it out? Because we all know that without, if not for Trump, nobody will be even talking, not even trying to do the right thing. So it takes him before they will try to do the right thing. And she turns around again and show why he's African or he's black, because he said that even though there's a way he phrased it, that he hates the Trump or something, and you ask yourself, what did you hate Trump for? Because maybe he doesn't want you to be, all of you, flooding and leaving your country to come to his own country where people have spent their life, blood, sweat, everything to build. But so you want him to open the border so that all of you, meanwhile, build your own. I saw Somalians in Minnesota, they are condemning him, saying this and saying that. But the same people turn around, they say that they try to, just like Nigerians do, that Nigeria is a good country. They go online, Nigeria is beautiful, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. But yet you are running away. Every opportunity you run away to go to a country where the white man spent their life, blood, and sweat years to build. But you will not build your own. What you do is you allow criminals to reign over you, where you will sit down there, Ruben Abati, a criminal, a drug trafficker like Tinubu, who has a track record, who is a money launderer, certificate forger, to be the president. Then you turn around, you find opportunity to run away because the country is not good, and at the same time you blame the white man. How does that work? How does that work? That a terrorist, you people allow a terrorist Buhari to come and ravage the whole country, you know, then when a white man is trying to help you out, you turn around, you blame him too. For how long will you continue to blame them? How long? These people are disgusting. What all of them, for the most part, what they are against Trump is that because Trump speak truth, one, and Trump said, no, we will not open our borders for you to come and destroy it.
They don't want to hear. The bitter truth don't want to hear. Put your continent and your country first. Put your own. I will put my own. Put your own first. That is what Trump is saying. Prepare your home. Stop making your home a shithole. Stop being a disgrace. Stop being a problem to others. Is that a bad thing? It's not a bad thing at all. He says he's a Pan-Africa. What Pan-Africa? Are you mad? What do you mean Pan-Africa? Pan-Africa? You the Pan-African with jihadists who want to what they want to do to Africa to South Africans who are killing their brother in South Africa.
Oh, okay. Pan-Africa, eh?
Go to people South Africa and see what they will do to you.
My brother, these people, audio. We just have to keep
from the incoming Minister of Defense. What did he speak about? He spoke about withdrawing our military from checkpoints. He said we need these boots on the ground. Absolutely. They need to be in action, but we're wasting them because they're doing the work that civil defense should be able to do at checkpoints. He spoke about budgets. He talked about the cost of the medium-range missiles. He said 150 million naira just for one, whether it strikes the target or not. This is the kind of thing we're talking about. And he said that in the past, there's been so much interference, there has been sabotage, and I love the fact that he's a man who has lived and tasted the experience. He knows where the shoe pinches, and I hope that he will get the necessary political will, because of course we know that he sits in a cabinet of ministers. He doesn't make unilateral decisions over anything. However, his experience is going to be valuable. From an administrative side, the weight of expectation on his shoulders is high, but I hope he will prove to be up to the task, because people are asking what will he do differently now as minister that he didn't do as CDS. And we have to remind people that Minister of Defense is a much more influential post.
And speaking and speaking about that, he has to now deal with Bello Metawali, whose topic we discussed earlier yesterday, who, you know, I think is slightly, or not, I wouldn't say slightly, absolutely different from Musa, who say no negotiation.